What's up, guys? And today we're going to be talking about episode 2 of What If. And it's what if T'Challa became a Star-Lord. This episode was awesome. Plain and simple, let's just get straight to the point. I'm getting used to these reviews, I'll get used to how to do these little by little, so we're just going to get straight into this. I love this episode very, very much. It was a fun episode. There was Easter eggs in this episode. There was things that I really didn't expect. So I am going to say spoilers here. We're just going to get into it. So instead of Peter Quill being taken, T'Challa ends up getting taken. So we already knew that was going to happen. And it's because he wanted to explore the world. That's what ended up happening. So he ends up going, and this time, and you know how the intro sequence in Guardians of the Galaxy goes, of where he goes to get one of the Infinity Stones. Is it the Power Stone that he went to go get? Is that the correct one? I hope it's the Power Stone. So instead of Peter Quill getting it, T'Challa's getting it in the suit, in the Star-Lord whole get-up and everything. So when he gets there, and then he grabs it and he turns around, and those goons are there and stuff. They're all, the main dude there, which I forgot his name, but he was really funny. He's super impressed with Star-Lord, and he's over there bowing to him and crap. So I'm like, huh? So I'm like, already. Now that, since T'Challa's Star-Lord instead, they know who he is. He's very well respected. He has a whole team with him. He has even, he ends up having, Nebula on his team. He has the dude that I just mentioned on his team. You even see Thanos. He was able to change Thanos' mind from him wanting to go on with his plan. So then Thanos is just there all casual and stuff. He's definitely not as strong as he was, in, the normal MCU, you know? So it was, super bizarre. It was the weirdest thing seeing Thanos there all casual. He looked like a farmer to me. That's what I kept thinking of, Farmer Thanos. So I'm just like, what the heck is going on? So... of course, he has Yondu on his team, and he has a few others on his team also. So they're doing their thing and stuff, and then and then a mission comes up for them about the Collector. So what ends up happening is they go over to the place, and Nebula. Well, first off, let's talk about the Collector. The Collector was freaking ripped. That dude was bulky, dude. I don't know, he might have been more swole than Thor. Ripped. I don't know if he was on the roids, but he wasn't no wimpy little dude that just liked to collect stuff. No, the Collector in this version, in this universe, he was, in this timeline, he was well respected. He was feared. He was the top dog. It wasn't Thanos people were fearing. No, it's the Collector, which I really, really liked. I'm like, wow, the Collector's already an interesting character, and now you made him somebody that could be taken seriously, you know? So, that was a sight to see. So, what ends up happening is they go in there, and Nebula ends up betraying the team and turns in T'Challa to good old Collector. So then, from there, you see a bunch of Easter eggs. You see different characters. You see the space dog. You see Howard the Duck, all that stuff. The usual. I mean, I'm sure I missed some Easter eggs, and we'll check out that Easter egg video, of course. So then that ends up happening. So then from there, the Collector puts T'Challa in one of his collector boxes. You know what I mean? Well, he puts him into the collector box, and he's there talking to him. And then once again, you see how swole he is and crap, because he wants to have T'Challa part of his collection. I'm pretty sure that's what it was from what I remember. And T'Challa's like, nah, we ain't doing that, etc., etc. Oh, actually, I missed a part. Before that, and I missed a vital part in my fault. Before they got captured, T'Challa, T'Challa ended up going into Wakandan spaceship in the Collector's area. And T'Challa was told that Wakanda got blown up. That's what Yondu told him. But in reality, that's not what happened, because when he went into that spaceship, there was a message there from his dad saying that they were looking for him and that they've been looking for him. And if T'Challa wasn't to see that message on that spaceship, they would keep sending more until they found him. So he was mad at Yondu, so that's another thing. That's another part of it. So I was like, oh, okay, so Yondu was lying to him. So then Yondu's like, yeah, I had to lie to you, because we out there, we don't need, you didn't need them, we're your family. And T'Challa's like, nah, I'm not your family. So then after that, that's when he got put in the box. My fault that I forgot that. That's actually a super vital part. So that happened, and then from there, we ended up, what's it called? Nebula goes to where Yondu are at them, and she gets them out, because it was her plan the whole time to let T'Challa get captured, because she knew what was gonna go on the whole time. So they just had to play. They had to play dumb. Which, I'll just say Black Panther. Can I just say Black Panther? I keep saying T'Challa, but okay, well, he's not Black Panther. Okay, so T'Challa was in on the plan the whole time. So, which was really interesting too. So from there, then they get into the fight with the Collector. Now this was one of the coolest parts of the episode. This dude Collector, obviously he has all these crazy items and all this. So he opens up his this like whole like box of like this whole wall of different items. So you see Cap's shield in there, Thor's hammer, there's a bunch of other stuff in there. So then he decides to pull out Hela's freaking, you know, Hela from Thor Ragnarok, her helmet or whatever you want to call it, and it was sick. Just everything that was going on was so cool to see, like the little Easter eggs and stuff. So this dude is just giving the hands to T'Challa like nothing. Yondu pulls up. Yondu's getting the hell beaten out of him to a bloody pulp. And I just kept thinking in my head, I'm like, this is so cool to see this. I don't know, like, I wouldn't even, before this, like, I was always intrigued by the Collector, but here I'm like, man, it'd be so cool if we see the Collector, like, in one of these live-action MCU movies again, but he's, like, the ripped version. If, like, what I would want them to do is get some of these ideas that they're putting in the show and put them into some live-action stuff. You could do it because of the multiverse. To just make them pop up here and there, and that'd be, like, really cool to see. Even if it's not, like, them getting a bunch of screen time and maybe, like, one line or an Easter egg or something, that'd be cool to see, in my opinion. I mean, might as well with all the multiverse stuff happening. You know, who cares? So, from there, they're working together. Yondu's getting beaten. T'Challa gets in there, stops him, and one of the girls there was inspired by T'Challa and wanted to help him, so they end up putting Collector in a box. Huge mob ends up beating up the Collector in the end. And from there, T'Challa returns back to Wakanda finally with Yondu and all of them, and he sees his family there. And then they all have a good time in the end. And T'Challa's dad asks Yondu, so, how did my boy how did you find my boy? Like, what happened? And he's like, well, you see, I found him, you know? And then I think, what did T'Challa say? I think he said, yeah, like, he found me, he helped me, something. It was a touching line. I'm sorry I don't remember the exact line. But it was a very fun and cool episode, in my opinion. Like, I enjoyed this episode very, very much. And if you haven't watched it, I mean, well, I don't know if I just said what the episode was about. But hey, listen, if you still haven't watched it, I'd still recommend going to watch it. This is an episode people were waiting for. Also, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. This was the last thing that he did for the MCU, I'm pretty sure, and he knocked it out of the park, of course. So, it was a very interesting thing to see. Oh, there was also Drax in there. I didn't see Gamora, and I didn't see Groot or Rocket, I don't believe. So I only saw Drax and Nebula. But as you see here, like I said before, up here, Gamora, I'm guessing that's going to be what if Gamora's the Mad Titan. So we'll see that at some point. I don't know what episode is next week, where this episode knocked it out of the park. I'd give this episode, honestly, maybe like 9. Like, I really enjoyed this episode. It was great. So I think I will give this episode a 9 to 9.5 out of 10. Super cool. Opens up a lot of possibilities. I'd love to see them do some stuff with this. I mean, obviously they wouldn't be able to use Chadwick Boseman. Once again, rest in peace to him. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens with all this live action stuff. Apparently Peggy's going to be coming back in season 2 of What If, where she's going to be in some other episodes of this season. So, I don't know. This is all connected together somehow. But yeah, I'm really intrigued to see the Ultron episode of what they're going to do with that. Like, if Ultron would have won, what the heck would have happened? But yeah, If you enjoyed my reaction, I mean my review, my fault. Be sure to hit the like button if you're new, subscribe, helps out very much. Check out the description box below, got my gaming channel, Discord server, all that good stuff. It's greatly appreciated. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one, and as always, don't do crack.